My name is Leticia Escamilla, the founder of MindFuelinMotion, where we are providing fun and engaging workshops to build that mental fitness. And how do we do that? Well, you can bring us out to do your retreats, conferences, corporate wellness programs to really bring in these fun and engaging workshops that focus on movement, meditation, journaling, mindful discussions, and so much more. You guys, all the details are below. But right now, let's dive in on today's mindful discussion. Let's be a part of the solution. So let's dive in. All right, you guys. So get comfy. I'm excited for this topic. I'm excited for all the topics, but this particular topic really came up when I saw someone that I don't really actually know. It's more of an acquaintance or know of this person, post on IG actually, and it's actually come up a few times. But this particular person really just ignited this topic. And I would never talk badly about anyone or show any, put someone on blast. But I realized the disconnect that all of us can have when we are voicing, certain things out into the world. And so there's nothing wrong with sharing our voice and lending our voice to things that we're passionate about. But here's the thing that I really wanted to have this discussion about with you guys is, to think about what it is you're passionate about, whatever it is, it could be big or small, and really think about when you are sharing your voice, are you adding to the problem or are you adding to the solution? And that's different, right? So when we jump on or when we protest or when we do anything to share our voice, I think of the word complaining. So to me, complaining about something is adding to the problem. It's stirring a pot. Oh, well, they don't do this and they don't do that. And, they don't care. Or, why do people do this? And, all these things, right? It's complaining. It's adding to the problem. We're just adding to the fuel. And when we put those things out in social platforms like YouTube, like Instagram, whatever it is, we are honestly allowing others to just continue to stir the pot. And it just becomes this loop that we're continuously in. And honestly, voicing it in that way is not going to make the problem or the situation go away. It's only going to ignite it even more. And so the example that I'm using with this particular person that posted something on Instagram, that voiced their opinion, all they did was stir the pot. And it was funny because this particular person, I honestly was like looking for the solution. I was like, okay, I totally get what you're saying. Like that makes sense. Like, but there was no solution at the end. And, as soon as I looked at the comments, no one had a solution. They just add it to the pot. Yeah, people do that. That's why, I don't do this anymore because of that. And this and that, right? Like they're just adding to it. There was no solution. So I wanted to jump on and just share with you guys, a solution to that problem, right? For us, when we voice our opinions, like it's important to be passionate about something. It's important to want to maybe change something if you feel there's a glitch in the matrix, right? There's a glitch in something. But I invite you to take that passion and instead of just jumping on and, I'm going to do, a TikTok or a reel on this just so I can vent, you know what I mean? Really think about what it is that is bothering you or why this ignites you and sit down with it first with yourself and really figure out where this is coming from. Why does this bother you so much? Why is this maybe a trigger for you? Why do you feel called to, complain or, voice this? And I invite, as you guys can see, I'm doing this, journaling, writing. I invite you to do that first and really understand where it's coming in from a subconscious level and deeper level of yourself. And then once you can uncover that, and that makes it take some time, right? That may take a month's worth of journaling. And I know you're just maybe itching to do that TikTok, but I invite you to wait because once you can find why this is an issue, then on the other side of that is finding a solution. And not to say that you're gonna cure cancer, right? Like, like that saying, but to find at least the idea of starting a conversation that's about finding a solution. So you may not have a solution, or you may go like, you know what, I started thinking about it, and maybe this is a better route. Maybe let's try this. Or at least if you don't have a solution, you're like, you know what, I've thought of things, and maybe, you can share a little bit of thought here or a little bit of an idea here. But now when you decide to go on that platform of choice, whatever that is, I invite you to now have a discussion for others, maybe to help find that solution, because your audience is probably whoever you're speaking to, whether you're influential or you just talking to your friends and family on these platforms, whoever it is, someone is listening to you. And I'm telling you, they are listening to you, because your voice is important, first and foremost, right? And that's why it is important for you to voice this. But, asking people to help you find the solution, or what do they think a solution could be, and it could just be you asking for yourself, and eventually someone else who's also feeling that way about that problem, whatever it may be, seeing that you're trying to find a solution will also get them to think about a solution. And if we start thinking like that, you guys, our world will start to change and start to become such a better place. And it's going to take time. It's going to take micro steps each and every day from every single person. But I invite you to do that, because it's not about shunning your voice. It's not about quieting you. And I think that can get misconstrued, right? It's about, okay, you are passionate about something and you want to use your voice, but how can you use your voice that's going to be for the greater good of yourself and the greater good of the collective meaning everyone around you, every person that is, in your inner circle and your outer circle, right? The people that, that you may never even see. And the thing is, you guys, is that we don't realize that our actions and our choices are a ripple effect to everyone. And I don't know how many people are, on this planet. I have no clue, billions, trillions, whatever. It's a big number, right? But my choice and my actions, and I'll bring it to just myself, is a ripple to every single billion, trillion people that's on this planet. And it could be very minute, right? Because if we think about how ripples work, right? The closer the person is to me is going to get more of the ripple of my choice and my actions. And then it just goes off from there and there and there. So by the time it gets to the last person on this planet, the trillionth and 1-2 person, it may be just air or whatever at that point, right? Just something very slight, but it affects them. And so that's why I felt so called to jump on here. And again, before I did it, I really had to come up with what I wanted to say as a solution, and why it's important to think this way. Not just because, like, let's just do it and it's the right thing, but using like that metaphor for you guys to see how powerful we are when we use our voice. And that's why using our voice is so powerful. And that's why I have MindFuelinMotion, and that's why I have this YouTube channel, because I want to use my voice, but I also realize that my voice is very powerful. And that I want to be able to speak in a way that inspires and empowers others, and not hurt anybody and not offend anyone. Now, everyone's going to take things the way they take them. I saw this quote once, and I might butcher it, so I apologize. These YouTubes are not meant to be perfect. They're meant to be discussions. And so discussions, sometimes you can't think of everything all at once, but and I try not to want to edit this too much, because I want it to be real and how I'm really feeling and what's really coming through me in this moment. So if I butcher it, I apologize. So the quote, just went something like, every billion trillion person here, right, has a different perspective, has a different outlook on life and the world. And so we can all look at the same exact object, right? That's why art and all these things are so powerful, and have a completely different idea, perspective, insight, base of our own experiences, because we are individuals that have, completely different experiences from one to another, even the people closest to us, right? Like brothers and sisters, we can live in the same household, we can, grow up together and still have the complete opposite experience, complete different experience. And so you got to also think that, when we voice our ideals and our opinions and our complaints and things like that, we're voicing it to, everyone out there that has a completely different experience, perspective, insight of the world, of that topic. Some may not even care, and some may be really passionate just like you are. And so we have to remember that. So it's super, super important, that yes, we want to use our voice. It is so important to use our voice, but also to do it in a way, like I said, that we don't want to stir this pot of problem anymore and continue this loop, because that doesn't solve anything. We want to come up with solutions, and we want to come up with solutions that are of the greater good, that have good intent, not to hurt or overpower or control or put fear into others, but that have good intention on helping resolve, whatever problem it is. And some of these problems that are in this world, big and small, may not be resolved in a way that we'll ever get to see, that you'll ever get to see, depending on what you're passionate about, but being okay with that as well. And just continue to be part of the solution. And that's the most important thing. So thank you guys so much for your time. That was today's Mindful discussion. If you're interested in learning about Mindful Motion, having a workshop at your next event, retreat, conference, corporate wellness program, all the details are in the description below. These mindful discussions are really an opportunity that I wanted to do exactly what I mentioned in this particular video, share my voice and have discussions about topics that we maybe aren't always having in our day-to-days, and that may be a little bit harder to have, but I think are super important to have a discussion on. And so if you like these type of videos, I invite you to subscribe so that you get notified every single month when we have a mindful discussion. But this page is actually releasing different types of content every single week, including our mindful breaks and our mindful mornings and journaling sessions. Thank you guys so much for getting this far in the video and connecting with me, and I'll see you next month for the next Mindful discussion.